Hi everyone, my name is Seth Escalante and today we're going to learn to read chord charts. Chord charts help us read chords on the guitar, which help us to learn songs. It also helps us to learn scales and different exercises. So chord charts are something you're going to see a lot of when you're learning the guitar. Let's take a look at the chord charts on my left. Now a chord chart is basically a guitar in a vertical position. So the strings go vertically just like the guitar and the frets go horizontally just like the guitar in a vertical position. So now let's play the strings highlighted in red on the chord chart. So the first string highlighted in red is the first string of the guitar. That's the thinnest one. The second string highlighted in red, that's the second string of the guitar. The third string highlighted in red, that's the third string of the guitar. The fourth string highlighted in red, that's the fourth string of the guitar. The fifth string highlighted in red, that's the fifth string of the guitar. And the sixth string highlighted in red, that's the thickest string of the guitar, the sixth string of the guitar. So as you can see, the strings that run vertically on the chord chart represents the strings of the guitar. Now let's take a look at the lines that run horizontally. The horizontal lines represent the frets of the guitar. So the first fret, the second fret, the third fret, and so on. We'll just go with the first three frets today. Notice that the chord chart has one line on top of it. That line does not represent a fret. We start counting from the second horizontal line. So let's now identify the frets of the guitar in relationship to the chord chart. So the first line highlighted in red is the first fret of the guitar. Let's point to the first fret of the guitar. That's this fret. The next line highlighted in red is the second fret of the guitar. That is this fret. And the third line highlighted in red is the third fret of the guitar. That is this fret. So the lines that run horizontal represent the frets of the guitar, and the lines that run vertical represent the strings of the guitar. So, as said before, the chord chart is basically the guitar in a vertical position. Although the chord chart is basically a vertical guitar, we don't play the guitar vertically. Most of us play the guitar in this position or in this position. When we read the chord chart, we read the chord chart in the same position. Anywhere in the world, we always read the chord chart in a vertical position. However, we don't play the guitar in a vertical position. So we have to learn how to read the vertical chord chart and make sense of that to play it on the guitar. So I'm going to put a diagram next to the guitar and I'm going to turn the diagram with the guitar so we can have a better representation of how to read the chord chart. So this is the guitar in a vertical position with the chord chart. The sixth string is here, the fifth string is here, the fourth string is here, the third string is here, the second string is here, and the first string is here. I'm going to turn the guitar along with the chord chart so you can get a better representation of how it turns. So, the sixth string is on top, the fifth string highlighted in red is here, the fourth string highlighted in red is here, the third string highlighted in red is here, the second string highlighted in red is here, and the first string highlighted in red is the bottom string of the guitar, the first string of the guitar. Now let's look at the frets of the guitar when the chord chart is turned. The first fret of the guitar highlighted in red is here, the second fret of the guitar highlighted in red is here, and the third fret of the guitar highlighted in red is here. Let's do that one more time. The first fret highlighted in red, that's up here. The second fret highlighted in red, that's here. And the third fret highlighted in red is here. Now let's do a small exercise where we're going to play the string that's highlighted on the chord chart next to me. So right now, the sixth string is highlighted in red. So we're going to play the sixth string. Now, the third string is highlighted in red, so let's play the third string. And now, the first string is highlighted in red, so let's play the first string. Now let's point to the fret that is highlighted in red. So right now, the second fret is highlighted in red, so let's point to the second fret. Now, we have the first fret highlighted in red, so let's point to the first fret. And now the third fret is highlighted in red. So let's point to the third fret now. Now that we can identify the strings on the chord chart, and we can identify the frets on the chord chart. Now let's identify the fingers of the chord chart. Next to me there are 4 numbers, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and each number is in a circle. These numbering circles represent the fingerings of our left hand. So number 1 refers to our first finger, number 2 refers to our second finger, our middle finger, number 3 refers to our third finger, our ring finger, and number 4 refers to our fourth finger, our pinky finger. So our thumb doesn't have a number to represent it. Next to me there's a chord chart with the number 1 in a circle on the first string on the first fret. So number 1 in a circle means our first finger, our index finger. So we're going to put our first finger on the first string, but what fret do we put it on? We put it on the first fret. So we go until we find the first fret. Very important note here. Never put your finger on the fret, right? We always play right above the fret. If you play on the fret, you get this sound. And if you play too far from the fret, you get a buzzy sound. But if you play right above the fret, then you get a good sound. And the note sounds good. Let's try another one. In the chord chart next to me, we have the number 2 in a circle on the third string on the second fret. So the number 2 in a circle means our second finger, which is our middle finger. So we're going to put our second finger on the third string. So it's on the third string. But what fret do we put it on? We put it on the second fret. So we put it on the second fret, and again, make sure that you're not touching the fret and make sure that you're not far from the fret. Right above the fret. And let's see how that note sounds. Let's try another one. In the chord chart next to me, we have the number 3 in a circle on the second string on the third fret. So 3 in a circle means our third finger, which is also called our ring finger. So we're going to put our third finger on the second string. But what fret do we put it on? We put it on the third fret. So it's on the third fret. Make sure we don't go on the fret, we don't touch the fret, and we don't go too far from the fret to get a buzzy sound. We go right above the fret, and then we get a good note. Let's try one more. In the chord chart next to me, we have the number 2 in a circle on the first string on the third fret. So our number 2 means that it's our second finger, which is also called our middle finger. So we put our second finger on the first string. But what fret do we put it on? We put it on the third fret. Make sure not to touch the fret or go too far from the fret. So the note sounds like this. And we're playing that one string. Now we understand the strings of the chord chart. We understand how to find frets on the chord chart. And we understand how to put our fingers on the guitar from reading the chord chart. So now let's learn a chord. Remember, to learn a song, you need to learn a few chords. So today we're going to do a simple chord to read on the chord chart. So in the chord chart next to me is the E minor chord. And you would notice it has 2 numbers on it, which means it has 2 fingers on it. Let's deal with the number 3 first. The number 3 represents the third finger. So let's put our third finger on the 4th string on the 2nd fret. So we're going to put our third finger on the 4th string, and then we're going to put it on the 2nd fret. Now let's deal with the number 2. The number 2 means our second finger, which is this finger, the middle finger. So we're going to put our second finger on the 5th string on the 2nd fret. So both fingers are on the 2nd fret. We don't want the fingers touching the fret, and we don't want the fingers too far from the fret. So right here should do. And it's a chord. We strum chords. So let's give this chord 4 strums after 4. 3, 4. And that's your E minor chord. Let's do one more chord. On the chord chart next to me, we have 3 numbers on it. We have 1, we have 3, and then we have 2. So let's deal with the number 1. Number 1 means our first finger. Our first finger is on the 2nd string on the 1st fret. So we're going to put our first finger, 2nd string on the 1st fret. Then we have the number 3. Remember, we're not taking off this finger. Because the chord chart has 3 numbers on it, all 3 numbers have to be down at the same time. So the number 3 means the 3rd finger. So this is our 3rd finger. It says to put it on the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. So let's do that. 3rd finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret. Now let's deal with the last number, number 2. The number 2 represents our 2nd finger, which is our middle finger. It says to put the 2nd finger on the 4th string on the 2nd fret. So let's do that. 4th string, 2nd fret. We've put down all our fingers in the right places. Now let's give this chord 4 strums after 4. 3, 4. And this chord is called A minor. And that's how to read a chord chart. So I hope this video is beneficial to you. On my website, in the link in the description of this video, there are many chords that you could learn while reading the chord charts.